So I was watching the Chicago Hyrox event when this happened.
Dude, this RowAlong guy loves to talk shit about the rowing. RowAlong guy, you gotta pipe it, bro.
I had just made a comment about how the rowing was painful to watch, and earlier in the week I'd left a comment on one of Hunter's videos when he was talking about the ergs, but he went on.
Yeah, I don't care that you've done 3, dude. You haven't done 3 at the level that these guys are pushing at. These guys are pushing to win races. You're pushing to prove a point. And that's the difference between elite level athletes and people with elite level opinions, and you're just an opinion.
But here's my point, and it's one that I've learned myself after doing a few Hyrox races, and that is that Hyrox rowing is not about rowing, it's about surviving for the rest of the race to come. So when I talk about Hyrox rowing technique, I'm not trying to turn you into an Oxford rower. What I'm trying to do is talk about efficiency, because the truth is that most people on the Hyrox race floor are incredibly inefficient, and there's just one move that you need to do in order to unlock that efficiency that will either let you row faster or at the same speed with less energy. And who doesn't want that? Around about this point, most rowing technique evangelists will start chanting legs, body, arms. Now there is a bigger video to be made about technique for the everyday Hyrox athlete, but I want to talk about these guys on the Chicago race floor, and specifically their back. Because hardly anyone uses their backswing. And with legs taking it easy, the row becomes 80% upper body for them. Take a look at this. I'm just going to row by swinging over my hips with my back. No leg drive, no arm pull. 155 splits. So that's 155 pace using just my backswing, and I'm only 79 kilograms. There's not that much mass to my upper body. So when you look at these guys on the race floor, the power, the speed that they could be getting from their back, they're completely throwing in the dustbin, wasting it just from not using that swing. But how much difference can a simple backswing actually make to your rowing stroke? Now the easiest way for me to show this to you is to row at maximum effort, and it's not something you're going to be doing on the Hyrox race floor. You're going to be pacing yourself. However, this is the best way to show it. So I'm going to start off by rowing without any backswing at all, okay? Now I'm just going to get the flywheel up and moving so I don't injure myself, okay? So here I go with maximum effort, and let's see what pace I can get up to. So still pushing hard with the legs, and then really yanking in the handle at the back. Gets me down to what, 138 pace? But got to say, the inside of my forearms are already starting to burn, and that was only what, 6 or 7 strokes. So definitely from an upper body point of view, it's taking its toll. So what happens if I row at the same stroke rate, 30 strokes a minute, same kind of intensity, trying to put everything into it, but this time I add in my backswing. So again, I'm just gonna get the flywheel moving. Okay, so let's go with a full force. So tilt forwards, engage the back, and I'm still pushing hard with the legs. Okay, so that's what, 5-6 seconds faster just by engaging my back through the stroke. And it must be said, it took the strain off my arms too. And especially when you think you've got the farmer's carry coming up after the next run, you want to make sure that this area of your body isn't already worn out, all right? So what I would suggest is the next time you go to the gym or the box or wherever, once you're warm, which is important, sit down on a rowing machine and just row with your back only, okay? Nice straight arms, swing your back, and look at the pace you can get on the machine in front of you. Whether you're going at max effort or whether you're pacing it the same as you would on a Hyrox race floor, just take a look at that pace in front of you and ask yourself, why wouldn't you incorporate that into your own row? Why are you dismissing that pace? Why are you throwing it in the toilet rather than using it to either make you go faster or for a more efficient row so you can feel a little bit fresher for the rest of the race to come?
But let's look at Megan Jacoby, who I think is a great example of rowing in Hyrox. Look at her as she rows. She comes into the front of the machine in a forwards tilt, gets a nice leg push in, holds that forwards tilt, and then swings in the back of the stroke and pulls in her arms. I'll put it into slow-mo so you can see it properly. So that forwards tilt, holds that tilt, swings that upper body to add in extra power, and then pulls in the arms. And this is about efficiency. Look at the pace that she's rowing at, around about 155, 156 that she's rowing at. And this way of her rowing is going to keep that pace up, and it's going to be a much more efficient way to row, enabling her to hit the rest of the race hard. Now, at the risk of annoying him even more, this is Hunter rowing at the World Championships in Manchester, and you can see he's at 144, 145 pace, but let's take a look at what's happening with his back during the row. So he comes in to the front of the stroke, and there just seems to be no tilt at all to his back, so he's pretty much vertical here, and then as we get through the stroke itself, there's a little bit of a lean back at the back of the stroke, but you can see as I'm coming forwards and backwards in slow-mo here, there's just no tilt at all to his back. And, you know, he's rowing fast, he's exceptionally strong, it's Hunter after all, but just imagine the extra couple of seconds he could add by just having a little backswing, which will either let him go faster or row with slightly less effort in order to let him go faster for the rest of the race ahead.
Now, round about this stage, people are flexing their knuckles, ready to type in a comment about how the row is a rest in Hyrox, and certainly it's not worth putting in a whole bunch of extra effort in order to squeeze out 2 or 3 seconds worth of pace. But that's not my point. I'm not talking about going faster. I'm talking about being more efficient when you're rowing. So let's say that your row was 3 minutes 20, okay? So you're rowing it at 140 pace, but you're not using that backswing. If you were to do that exact same pace, but you also use your back to generate power, you then don't have to push as hard with your legs, and you don't have to pull as hard with your arms to the finish, which, when you look at all of the events that are going to come after the row in Hyrox, you really want to be protecting your legs, and you want to be protecting your arms and your shoulders, so use your back. And let's face it, guys, I've seen you all with your tops off. You've all got the core, you've got the six-pack to be able to handle using your back and the stability in order to generate that force in the row. So that's my point, all right? It's about efficiency. I'm not trying to turn you into a rower. All I'm saying is that if you use your backswing, you can take it a little bit easier on the rower and still row at the same pace. And let's face it, after the burpee broad jumps, your legs are going to be bust. Chances are your upper body is going to be bust as well from all of those kind of up and downs from the burpees. So why not let your core take over and add in a little bit more pace? And this really does. This bit goes out to all you elite guys that are trying to get on podiums, or you're trying to win world records and stuff. Imagine you missed out by 2 or 3 seconds, right? And then you look at the video of you on the rowing machine and you see that you're rowing without using that backswing. That backswing could have given you more speed on the rowing machine, or it could have made the rest of your race that little bit easier, and you could have squeezed out that 2 or 3 seconds, all because you completely threw away a few watts that you could have got out of the rowing machine, all right? Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you in another video or on the Hyrox race floor. Until then, please take care, be well, bye-bye.